Okay, recording in progress. So thank you guys for attending today. Let me put you so that you're not looking up at us. It's a weird view. As part of our week of planning day, I thought this was appropriate to start off the week. This is the time of the year that everything you do will be for the new year. Anything you put under contract now is going to close in the new year. Any clients that you meet now are going to be your business in the next year. So that's what we're trying to prepare for. So I thought it was appropriate. This is Anthony, my son. Most of you know him already. He started in the business October 20th is when his license was active of 2020. And in his first year of business, he did a little over $10 million in real estate. So I thought it would be good for you guys to hear what he did instead of me trying to tell people what different people do and how they do it. So feel free to ask me questions. This isn't his forte. He was hoping one person was going to show up. Surprise. And so I'll let you take it from here.
All right. So again, my name is Anthony. Thank you for coming. And like she said, if you have any questions or anything at all, please jump in. Didn't have anything really prepared. Just going to kind of go with it. So at any time, please let me know. So quick disclosure, like she said, I've only been doing this for a year. So I've only been doing it for a year. Again, whatever I say is kind of what's worked for me. I feel like everyone has to take their own secret recipe and mold it to themselves. So whatever I'm saying isn't necessarily going to work for you guys, but just kind of figure out what it is that works for you guys and take it from there. So I think that's the most important thing. I'm going to lose everyone's attention in about 10 minutes anyway. So as long as I
Not
get
here, you won't. Not
first,
here.
then we're good. So when Missy asked me to come and speak, I really didn't know what I was going to say. So my big thing is, I think the easiest way for any job is to kind of break down exactly what your role is or what your focus is. So before this, I was a financial advisor, and I broke it down to the most fundamental level. And fundamentally, you have to take that person's money from their bank account and bring it into your managed portfolio bank account. Okay, so that's absolute fundamental. Now, this is the same thing. You're taking someone from one home and you're moving them to another. So it's simple. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into it, but when you bring it down to that level, it kind of helps you focus and understand what you have to do. So there's three things that I think, or I attribute to my success. And again, everyone's going to be different, so you got to figure out what it is that you work with that can make yourself be the best agent that you can be. The first thing you're going to be like, obviously, that's so simple, but it's just work hard. Just be a hard worker. And again, you're like, no shit, that's so simple, Chris.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
So, we're all adults.
So you're gonna say no shit. Like, yeah, you gotta work hard, but are you actually working hard? When you lay in bed at night and you're like, okay, this is what I did today, do you actually feel accomplished? So for example, like weekends, I got into real estate because I thought I was gonna be able to just have fun, hang out on the weekends, go to the beach house, and just do what I want to do. And I mean, a year in, I realized that it's absolutely incorrect. If that's the life you want, you take a 9 to 5 and you get paid a salary, and then you can take your weekends off, but you don't have a ceiling in this building. A ceiling in this industry. So Dante, I was gonna be picking on you a lot today, but you're hiding behind the pole.
Dante, there's a seat right here.
Yeah, let's get him up. So here's my question. So as for my first thing is hardworking. Okay, Dante, what did you do this weekend?
I went to a drag brunch.
Okay.
On Saturday.
Okay.
What kind of league did you get?
Yeah.
Drag brunch.
Okay, so exactly.
I've never heard that before.
No, I was not expecting that.
Let me see your hair.
Okay, so you had open house, and how many clients came through? Or how many people?
4
And how many came with agents?
3 of them.
Okay, were there agents presently and physically there? No. None of them were.
One of them, she was a husband and wife. The wife was the agent.
Okay, so besides them, there was two other groups that came through without their agents, and then another group that came without an agent, that didn't have an agent.
Right.
Okay, so what did you do to reach out to those people or kind of get them in line with yourself?
Well, it was me, Deb, and Alejandra, and Deb had the contact information. So we like closed an appointment to have a Zoom call on Wednesday, and then we're going to follow up.
Okay, so you're actively pursuing them, obviously, right? Okay, so that was my first client was we had one of my friend's mom's listing, and my first client ever. I met her at the listing, and she had an agent, but the agent didn't show. So I think the best CRM is KV Core. I don't use it anymore. I use Brivity, which I don't like, but I think KV Core is absolutely the best. And just with KV Core, like the second I met anyone, the second anyone came into an open house, I would immediately put them in the KV Core and then just put them on the auto listing and send out the listings. So that's how I got my first client. She had an agent, but she called me the next day. She's like, "You've been sending me all the properties that exactly I'm looking for. My other agent isn't sending me any of this stuff." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like obviously we don't know what we're sending them. It's going automatic. So that's how I got my first client. So I think it's so important to, if someone tells you they have an agent, I mean, I would still go after them. I mean, I think the most important thing to do is you say you're aggressive and you're aggressive. I think that's one of the most important characteristics is just stay persistent, especially when you're cold calling or anything. You don't want to be hanging up on the person. You want them to hang up on you. So if you're talking to someone on the phone and you say, "Hey, listen, you're looking to sell your house," whatever your script is, they're like, "No, I'm busy right now." You go, "Okay, goodbye, blah, blah." You don't want to do that. You want to just keep asking questions, keep engaging until finally they hang up on you or you get an appointment or anything out. So I think that's important. To go back to the hardworking thing, again, open houses, I don't know any better way of getting clients in open houses unless you're spending $20,000 a month on Zillow leads. There's really no other way. Do you know any other way that's going to get you the clients?
Not without a huge investment. Not without a huge investment.
So not only that, but being at these open houses, you're also like practicing and you're putting in your reps. So as with anything else in life, you have to practice. Pro athletes, they practice. You have to practice this too. It's nothing different. So being there and just doing the repetitive nature, talking to people, meeting new people, learning how to speak to people, I think that's extremely important. So at the end of the day, you should really be able to say like, "Yes, I worked hard today," or "No, I slacked off." And then that's going to directly correlate to how much business that you're actually doing. So that was my first thing. My second point is don't give up. So again, these are so stupid and so simple and everyone knows these, but you have to actually, again, put them into practice. So I have a deal right now. It's a $30,000 commission check. So I look at things as in commission checks. Everyone, again, looks at it different. Maybe you look at it as units. Maybe you look at it as the gross check, the net check. I look at it as the gross commission check. So this deal, it's a relocation company. The seller is a relocation company. My buyer is, I met at open house, and I've been going through this for now a week. I mean, probably a month and a half. I mean, has anyone ever here dealt with relocation as a seller? So you know it's just an absolute mess. I sent you this. Did you see the document? It was 88 pages. They had to sign the condo documents, all this stuff, which was actually absolutely unheard of. But whatever. So my buyer tried to back out like 6 times. Not even exaggerating. And every time I just brought them back in, dragged them back in, got everything back to the table. Right now it's dead. They terminated on Friday, but I'm still working on it. I mean, I'm not giving up on it. So the way that I look at these transactions and the way that I look at the whole business is obviously money-wise. So I put, not in a bad way, but I put a dollar amount on these people. So again, if I'm not doing anything this weekend, like if I don't sit in open house, if I don't take clients out, I mean, I'm losing out on the $20,000 dollar. What's the average commission check in this office?
I would say $9,000. 9,000.
9?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in the Hoboken office, it's $17,000 check. So if you're not doing anything on the weekend, if you're not sitting open house, if you're not taking people out, then you could just check off that you lost $9,000 because that you can at least get one person per weekend. So that's how I look at it, and that's what keeps me motivated. So that's the second thing is just don't give up. Just don't give up on a deal until everyone just like, again, just like, stop, you're annoying me. hang up on you. That's I think that's the whole idea of real estate. Just be
No, it's not
persistent.
good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Just be persistent and just get hung up on. And then my last thing, I mean, I've been doing this my whole life, is just fake it till you make it. So just keep going and just pretend like you know what you're doing and just have that air of confidence and just keep going out there and just trying and failing until you finally like learn your stride. And then once you get your stride, you can't be stopped. So those three things are pretty much what I attribute my last year to. And then in the meantime, I started in October, and then I joined a team in August. So I was doing all that solo, and then I just joined a team, which is a whole nother dynamic. But yeah, I didn't really want to get into all that side unless anyone has those questions. But yeah, so those are pretty much the three main points on what I think is the most important way to kind of conduct your business. And you also have to hold yourself accountable. For example, did you set any goals for this year or for your months?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you hit your goals?
Not yet.
Okay. So another thing is, I think you should be setting unattainable goals, an unattainable yearly goal, not something that's like astronomical, but something that's going to make you work hard. So I remember when I sat down with my broker before I started, and I told him I wanted to do $14 million my first year. So, which was obviously a big number. I remember he said he was rookie of the year and he only did 7 million. So when I said that number, his eyes kind of widened. I was like, okay. And I came close. I did 10 million. So I think that just having that goal helped push me. So I had that yearly goal, and I had a monthly goal. I wanted to do $1 million a month. So those are the two things that kind of kept me on track. And then on top of that, also with that whole $1 million a month, when I was hitting that on Instagram, I was making these stupid Instagrams with my face in front of some random Hoboken landmark, and I would just say January 21, like $1.2 million month, Hoboken, Biker, whatever. And then people reach out to me. I got most of my business my first year just from my sphere. Mostly my sphere, from people just seeing my Instagram and just reaching out. So I think social media, obviously, I mean, in today's day and age, is just absolutely.
So cute, man.
Watch out for her.
I don't know.
Watch out for her.
They just wanted to
They were-
dating app.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, now you gotta do it on Tinder.
Look. You available?
I told you, watch out.
You gotta put houses on Tinder and swipe right. No worries. I've heard worse. Don't worry.
What about this? I'll back it up too.
Look, I got some candy.
I have a story for you off camera. I have a story
I
for
knew
you
you were
about
gonna bring
that.
that up.
I have a great story for you about that.
Yeah,
Like, guys,
I got in
really have
trouble
to
for
hear
that.
it. Yes.
You
Yes.
can't, you can't say that around her. I got. in
Oh
trouble
my
for
God, please.
that. It's all good.
Yes, it is being recorded. Yes, that's why we're gonna wait for that story. Yeah. But I'm gonna just mention something, maybe bring something up to him. So last year, right when he started in October, November, Carlo Syracuse had a Zoom awards thing, right? He had like a motivational Zoom webinar for everybody. Remember, it was a 2-day thing, and then he did awards at the end. And so I made him watch it. I'm like, didn't Joe tell you to put it on? He's like, no. I said, put it on right now. You should be watching this. You should be seeing what's going on and whatever. So he puts it on. And so they're getting to the point where they're doing, you know how Waker has the different levels. They have the $1 million club, and the next one is like a $2.5 million club, and then 4 million. So he's watching it, thinking that that's per month that the agents are doing, not in a year. So he goes to me, oh my God, Mom, I can't believe what these agents do. Like, they're doing like, because then there was one like 10, he was like, I can't believe it. I'm like, no, Aunt, that's a year. He goes, that's a year? He goes, that's what they do. He goes, they work all year for that? So the mindset, again, just to bring you a different mindset. I've watched that for 16 years, right? Since the day I started, they've been doing those awards. And it never, ever hit me that way. That like, oh my gosh, $1 million for the year, not $1 million a month, $2.5 million in a year, not $2.5 million in a month, right? So again, it's all about our mindset. And so now I look at that differently when they're doing that. you know, how it's different, how it should be changed now in this day and age.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I'm motivated by it. You gotta find what you're motivated by. Again, you all probably know this, but for me, it's just the money. So I see. I mean, no one loves. You don't go into like this business because you love homes, unless I mean maybe some people. But I mean, you go into this because you have that flexibility, right? You can work whenever you want. Like I said before this, I was a financial advisor at Morgan Stanley, and I was working 12, 14-hour days, and I was miserable. And I mean, there's a cap on how much I can make. I thought I was going to go into it like Jordan Belfort and just make $1 million a year, but I mean, there's just so much more to it. So when I left, I kind of found that transition. I was like, well, now what am I going to do? And I don't know if you guys have ever heard the podcast, Bigger Pockets podcast, but it's what kind of really got me involved in real estate. And I kind of realized that there's absolutely no cap. It's just you make as much money as you put your work into. So it's directly correlated to how hard you work. So with that being said, when I was working at Morgan Stanley, I was like, I have my weekends, but I'm just exhausted. I don't want to do anything. So now when I do this stuff, I'm like, okay, I can make my own time, but now I'm still working all weekend. I'm working every day and all weekend, but now I'm making as much money as I want to make. So before I go to bed every night, I have a spreadsheet on my phone, and it's all my pending deals, and it's everything under contract. And I just have the net dollar amount and when they close. And I just look at that every single night. I just do like the calculations 10 times just because it's like, it gets you excited, it gets you motivated.
It's good to count your money.
Yeah, you shouldn't count it before you get it, but
But it's fun to see it.
yeah,
I do the same thing. I see my money coming. I know what I'm
exactly.
doing.
So it helps motivate you.
Absolutely.
So you see that coming in, you wake up the next day. I mean, for me, I have a set schedule. I wake up early, go to the gym, eat breakfast, go into the office, and then whatever happens. It's like, because you know the life of a realtor, you don't know what's going to come up, you don't know what's going to happen. So for me to go to bed at night before and just look through that, it just helps motivate me. It helps get me up the next day. So I think you have to find really what it is that will push you to be the best. I guess do the best you can for that year, because you want to be able to obviously hit your financial goals. I know everyone has stuff that they want to buy. I talk to her all the time. She talks me out of all the stuff that I want to buy. So for me, that's what keeps pushing me forward. I'm sure it's probably the same for most people. Anyone have any questions or any?
So I heard that how you control your business with your buyers and stuff. That you know who you want to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you get them to that?
Oh, yes, he could, from the beginning, yes.
I want to know
How do you control them so that every person, because you have everybody use Amanda, you send everybody to Anthony, you do all that, like you tell them and then they do it.
Well, so you just got to get them on the phone with him the second you meet them. So before you even take them out, I kind of go through the whole spiel of like, well, what are we looking to buy? And they're saying, well, we want to spend $600,000. I'm like, okay, and what does that correlate for a month for your monthly mortgage? Because to me, it's not about the price of the home. Obviously, that comes into the equation down the line for appreciation when you sell it. But it's more important to know how much your mortgage is and how much you can afford. So I'll say, okay, they want to spend $600,000. I'll say, then how much is that going to be a month? Like, well, we don't know. Like, well, then we don't know if we're in the same boat, because you could want to spend $4,000 a month. And at $600, it's about $3,200. I'm making that up because with HOA fees and everything, it's different by me. So I immediately connect them with Rosemary. And then after that, I'll go through my attorney, and I use my attorney for all my personal properties and everything. I'll say the same thing. I'll be like, listen, it's my attorney, Amanda. She does all my personal properties. She's a rock star. She gets it done. The good thing about her, and this is for your own personal attorneys, you can have this conversation. I can text Amanda any time of the day, call her any time of the night, and I can just keep things moving forward. Same thing with Anna. So that's pretty much your spiel. It's like, okay, if you go and you outsource it, I've seen it happen where people go online, they Google their rates, and they'll find a cheaper rate, and then they don't close in 30 days like we originally planned. They close in 60 days, and they need extra flood insurance and all this stuff. So it's always a mess when they go off on their own. So the first day I speak to people and I'm taking them out, I'm having the conversation about my attorney. I'm having the conversation about my lender, just to kind of prep them for that. Because it's important, because you can keep it, if you can keep it all in your ring, you'll be able to keep the deal together. Once you have outside attorneys, I hate using an outside attorney because that's when the deal dies. The favorite saying is 2 things kill deals, and it's time and attorneys. So you keep that attorney in your ring, and she'll be on your side and help you push everything through. Because I've seen attorneys, again, I'm in the Hoboken office, so there's properties that you can't have certain pet breeds or like weight limit. But I mean, obviously, there's people there with German Shepherds that are 100 pounds, and the limit is 35 pounds. But they're scared because they see it on paper. But my attorney's like, go sit in the lobby for 10 minutes and see what happens. And you see these huge dogs roll through. But if you have another attorney from Red Bank, who you have no clue who they are, then they're going to be right by the paper. So it's important to do that like ASAP. Like the first time you meet them out, start putting that in their brain. Do you have like an attorney that you like to use, or?
Yeah, we do, yeah.
So you should just get buddy with them so you can text them at any time. Okay, yeah, that's the most important part because you want to be able to show that you're on top of it. Like this weekend, I was taking a client out, and so the deposit, like the initial or the additional deposit is usually due like 10 days after. This client wasn't comfortable with sending it until we cleared the home inspection. So I pretty much just like telling her like, listen, everything's okay. We'll get that done once we get this home inspection done, and then I kind of tell my attorney to just like don't bring it up. But if you don't have that relationship with these other attorneys, the only answer via email, you can't really do it.
And you all have experienced a bad attorney. I know everybody here has experienced a bad attorney who is not looking out for you or your client's best interest. And it's a nightmare. And then, like he said, he kept something together 6 times. That's because he had control of everybody. And if he would never be able to do that if he couldn't get in touch with the attorney. Right? If the attorney stopped talking to him or dismissed him.
And they're out at 5 o'clock. They don't care. Because if they don't get paid on this deal, they get paid on the next one.
Your attorney should take a new thing.
Mhm.
Lined up.
I just joined the team.
My
Yeah.
attorney thinks you have to do it.
Yeah, I just joined in August.
I make it.
Why are you hiring? So why are you hiring?
Next time we're gonna want to have.
Yeah, just
Me too.
What she telling
Well,
us?
sure. It's like anything. From one way. Business is business.
Yeah.
If you turn the relationship.
It's the most important part.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, and that goes with everything you say. Lenders, get the right appraisers out there. Because you never
I
know.
have a small question, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, please.
But thank you, it was excellent. As a newer agent, and I'm not really a newer agent, but I'm just asking. As a newer agent, is there a key to like picking which open house you sit?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, you want to sit the open houses that are like fresh in the market. Yeah, the newer on the market, the better. Also, you want to pick so again, it's different because I'm in Hudson County. So if I see, but you can relate to this too. If you see a home in a neighborhood that just went up, so let's say that there's a home in, I don't know, Shongham Lake that went up 3 weeks ago, and a brand new home goes on this week. You're gonna want to sit that home that went 3 weeks ago because you're gonna get the overflow from everyone there into that one also. So it's homes like that, and I mean, you don't have to really look at the price because it could be a $14,000 home and you'll get slammed to people. I mean, I know up here there's like 60 people coming to open houses, which is not the same by me. Yeah.
Price right in that range, so that everybody can pay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying.
But also, I tended to sit open houses that was the price point I worked. So, if I have a bunch of listings at $450, that's, and or a bunch of buyers in that range, that's the open house.
But every week, there's new buyers every single. I take it with that. That's how I see it. I'll sit at any open.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know there's new buyers coming every week. Well, my goal is to get crack one. every
You just need
Exactly.
one. You just need one.
I need
But
one
I-
every week. That's
yeah.
100 deals. That's how
Yeah.
I do it. One becomes 2, right? Take it like that.
But I think the most important thing also is just that I learned, because I mean, like I said, I'm new, so I would just kind of climb out to see my pants, which I'm still doing. But the most important thing is to know the market. So if you're not adding value, no one's gonna want to work with you because they can just go on Zillow. And I'm sure you guys all see what's going. Did you talk to them about what's going on with Zillow with the arbitrage? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the last time I talked to him was with the iBuy program, which was like a month ago.
All right, so if you guys know what happened with Zillow, they were doing those estimates and they were buying if it was below this estimate, and then they have a million homes that they can't sell or whatever number. So if you don't add value to your customers, and I'm seeing that now because I have to know, like in Hoboken or Hudson County, I got to know like the lines, like the 08 line in a building. I have to know what exposure that is. I have to know how many bedrooms it is, what the square footage is. So up here, if you know your inventory of like the 4-bedroom, 3 full baths, and you have people that are coming into those homes, then you can spit out the facts. Oh, you don't like this one? Well, I have another one that has a pool and it's on a lake and it has 3 baths, blah, 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 blah. So if you can just spit out facts about similar homes and know the inventory, then I think you'll be able to hook every single person that comes in. And then on top of that, throw them on KV Core, because it's like a cheat code. You throw them on KV Core, and then people are just flocking to you saying, I love that property. And then you got to go back and look what property to talk about. Like, yeah, it's great. And you're like, which one was it? So.
And do you send them property alerts for what they're looking for, or do you just send any new listing?
No, I'll do what they're looking for. So if they come in, so I did open houses differently. I printed out a piece of paper and I just wrote like, showing in progress, please text me your full name and email address and I'll come and get you. And I kept the door closed. So then once people were coming in, I would literally just be like, listen, I'm sorry, I'm not being rude, I'm just taking notes. So while they were talking to me, I had their text up and I was taking notes of what exactly they wanted, and then I would screenshot it. And then I had like 15 pictures in my album. And when I went home that night, I would just add them in and then just do it specifically to that.
Right.
But what I would do is, like, let's say if their max was like 500, I would just push it to 600.
Yeah.
And then once they started like responding to me, then I would link them up with Anthony and see exactly what they could do. So that's how I would do keep core. But I mean, if you have to be putting everything in keep core, which I haven't. So.
And KV Core is the best. It really is. It really is.
And you open up people that have agents.
Oh yeah, I thought to me it was a game.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed, like, if you came in and said you had an agent, you didn't bring your agent, it was like a game to me to try to get you. So because again, what's the worst they can do? Tell you to stop. Exactly.
no.
So just do it until they tell you to stop. Who cares? And you're practicing and you're learning.
Right.
So
I'd be like, keep calling me, Anthony. Keep calling me. Like, I'm like,
and then I stopped calling her. I'm like, okay, she's off. She's the exception to the rule. You're off my KV core.
right? Make sure it's vacant. The camera?
What's your price range? If you're $1 million plus at 2.5 or 3, if I'm showing this house at 7%.
Right?
No,
Back on track.
there is no track. I'm winging it.
Do you make phone calls?
I did. I was making a lot of phone calls. But again, it's the same thing. You have to figure out like what you, I don't want to say what you enjoy, because you're not going to really enjoy it, but there's going to be more tolerable things than others. Some people in my office door knock. I would never want to do that. I'd rather cold call, but then those people would rather door knock than cold call. So you got to find a way to market yourself to get business. I mean, there's no right answer. Again, I think open houses are number one. I think cold calling is good. Probably door knocking too. I've never done it, so I can't speak to it. But again, you're just getting reps in. You're practicing. So you have to get on the phone. You have to go and get in front of people and do it. You can't just sit home and just pray for someone to call you, because it's not really going to happen. And when you're cold calling, I mean, do you have scripts that you have?
Have you had success with leads, like the low leads or?
Oh yeah. So on the team I'm on now that I just start, I started in August because I didn't want to make it sound like whatever. So yes, team I'm on now, I get Zillow leads, so I get calls, and those are the easiest. I mean, if again it's like 20,000 a month, so it's tough, and I'm paying a split on those, but still it's worth it because you get the numbers, it's volume. especially in my area, new construction buildings are 4%. Again,
Wait, how much
it's
did you
double.
say it was?
Sorry,
$20?
20,000.
20,000.
Oh, I was gonna say.
My partner's paying 20,000. Realtor.com, I didn't have good luck with. I was paying that myself,
Yeah, but still, what do they pay, $20,000 a month?
but we get a
So
lot.
it's your budget, what you want to spend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So you don't-
You spend 100,000.
I don't chip in. I pay a split.
Okay.
So I mean,
I'll take 50% of it.
yeah, yeah.
And
so
how
it's
many leads realistically do they get for that amount of money? Just curious.
It goes between me and another guy. I'll get probably good leads or like leads. Like, I'll get like one a week. I've converted since August probably 4 people also.
Which is a good conversion rate.
But it's real. It's not like $400,000 homes. It's $1 million plus
Right,
homes.
You're the price.
Yeah. And
That's why
then
you're price.
plus in Jersey City, again, there's a lot of new construction and they're paying those bigger commissions. We're talking before, there's places in Hoboken that are paying 0.9%. The average in Hudson County is 2%. So up here it's great. Up here it's great. You have
Florida,
to-
not paying us anymore. Florida. I was making 4% in Florida on the brand new construction in Florida.
Really?
Now it's zero.
Yeah.
Paying me zero in Florida.
Why?
They don't need me. Houses sell by themselves.
Oh yeah, that's
The
true.
easiest thing to sell is brand new.
Oh yeah.
In Florida, everything's new.
Yeah.
When I was down there, I just standing in the street talking to people coming through the door.
Just push them through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an easy gig in Florida. But that's over. Since COVID.
What made you join a team? Why did you decide?
It's a funny story. So I didn't want to. I kicked and screamed. Long story short, I was doing well, and I wanted to buy a place in Hoboken. I was looking, didn't find a place I liked. Next day, this guy calls me, alumni in Hudson County at Hoboken, and he was like, "Hey, I want to have a conversation with you. Like, would you be open to talking to joining the team?" I'm like, all right. Sat down with my broker. He's like, I can't tell you what to do. He's like, you'll make more money, but you're not gonna have your recognition. Your name is not gonna be known. I'm like, I don't really care about that right now. About my name being known. Right now I'm just focused on making money.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What?
They're staring each other in the heart.
Why? You said something.
Because I was very, very, very torn with this whole decision.
Yeah, so she was the most upset about me doing this. So it's a stupid reason. He was selling one of his condos in Hoboken that he personally owned. And I was like, okay, I'll join your team if you sell it to me for this price. And after like a week,
Oh, I don't blame, that's a good deal.
yeah, it's a good deal, right?
That's a negotiator
Yeah.
right there. That's right.
Yeah, but now I'm doing the most I've ever done.
That's
Yeah.
okay, don't let them
Yeah.
come down, you know what?
I love it.
I'm like, what?
Oh, I'm learning, and I put like 3 million under contract this month.
I'm just glad
He's feeding you leads. That's good.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's got throughout these meetings.
Oh yeah, no.
Nobody more than him. Oh my God.
Yeah.
In life.
Whatever I want. I don't want to.
You got the
I'm getting a
town room,
Zillow call right now.
You got the
It's
town room, right? You got, answer that call, go ahead.
No, I think no.
That's where our business is going.
Yeah.
We're paying Zillow.
No, right? Well, they're
Well,
going
their
under.
business is going
They're
on.
done, yeah. They're going under. But that's actually another point I wanted to make. I forgot to make this point. I also think that you need like an accountability buddy. So I used to do jujitsu, and whenever I would go, I would always reach out to other kids like, listen, like, are you going tonight? He'd be like, no, I'm like, let's just go. Same with me. Hey, are you going tonight? I'm like, nah, like, come on, dude, let's go. It's kind of the same thing within here, because you kind of get thrown to the wolves. There's really no training. I think you have to come from a 9-to-5 job into this so you can have that structure. Then having someone that you can kind of rely on, like, did you make your calls today? Did you knock on 100 doors? Did you hit your goal for the month? So you need someone that's going to be able to kind of hold you accountable for your business, because we aren't responsible for ourselves. We won't do it ourselves. So I think it's important to have someone that you can reach out to and just kind of be on their ass and they're on your ass to hit your goals for the month and make your phone calls and take those people out. I know there's times where I don't want to take these people out. Then again, I look at it as like it's a $9,000 head, $10,000 head. So I think that's important for sure. And then the other thing also is you have the worst job. It's the worst. I tell her all the time, I'm like, that's the worst job, because I see my broker, Joe in Hoboken, and it's a revolving door. I mean, someone's in there, someone's out, someone else in there. You just can't get anything done. I'm calling him at 9:30 at night. I remember during COVID when I was back and forth between home, she was on the phone at 9:30 and I'm like, what are you doing? So like, you always have someone to kind of go to and bounce ideas off of. If you don't have someone that's like an accountability buddy, just bounce off of, hit her up. Don't hit her
They
up.
do.
Don't hit her up. Keep her out of it.
Sorry, I didn't call you mom at 9:30.
Call her. That was you? Yeah, it was.
No, stop, Peter. I
it
mean,
was-
you couldn't wait till the next morning.
Sometimes you can't.
I'm working 24/7.
Sometimes you
In the
can't.
holiday season, I need help.
There is no
Yeah,
holidays.
I was walking the dog. For like an hour talking to Deb around in circles.
I like going to them.
Winter day.
Come in and tell your problems.
Winter day. I mean, it's inevitable. You're the therapist of how many agents,
110.
and then you're dealing with their clients.
Mhm.
I don't even know. I don't know. I would never do that. The R broker now I think he's getting back into real estate too. He just took a listing. He made one cold call, and he got a 6% listing.
Don't get any ideas. Nick.
His first one.
You want to see hierarchy?
That's
in
mine.
it?
You're done.
That's mine. She's not gonna do it.
Oh, my
Oh, I
God.
know.
What are you
Like
talking
the
about?
network.
Dad, I have missed you. I must say I've missed you.
You guys are crazy.
No, man, you're done. You're done.
This is laid back.
Good.
This is actually a very.
I laughed when you said, oh, sorry, I cursed. Watch the recording of my-
I don't know who's on this. I don't know who's watching me.
I usually keep them out. Oh, yeah, you have a stamp, your fly swap. Yeah, and I haven't punched it yet.
So it's a good day.
It's a good day for him.
There's usually at least 3 F-bombs.
Yeah,
And that's from your mother.
I've hit that. Yeah, right. She'd be crying.
Where's my swatter? I don't know. You could, I'll bring it. Yes.
Everybody have an idea of what you need to do moving forward? Work, 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 work. And every day, at the end of the day, you have to say to yourself, did I actually work today?
So-
Did I just sit there and look at GSMLS? Did I wait for the phone call? Did I wait for that client to call me back for 5 hours? You know, what did I actually do to income producing activities today that are going to get me a commission check in the future?
So, Anthony,
Yes.
what I'm taking away from this is we should all look to a team's outside point.
No, he's in Whitehurst.
No.
Oh,
Yes, that too.
no, he's in Whitehurst. Oh, no. Oh, that would have been, no, he wouldn't be, no.
I
That-
refuse
that
to
was-
go to see your mom.
I'd be off the will.
Maybe off the well.
I'm counting on that. So I can't
He's
leave yet.
counting on it.
I can't leave yet. But no, so I mean that was a big conversation that we had, because I didn't know what to do. I was torn because I wanted to build my own business. I wanted to build a team. I had a kid who just quit his job, and he started. I'm having the same conversation with him. I'm like, what are you doing this weekend? He's like, I'm going to Charleston. Like, what did you do last weekend? He's like, oh, it's my dad's birthday. I went golfing. I'm like, so what are you doing? He's done one rental. I'm like, you got to find buyers. You just got to cold call and get listings. So what I've been doing now to help him out, which I don't even know if I'm supposed to be doing this, but I cross out everything on a contract that I have, all the like important stuff. I send it to him. I just leave the address. Then I have him call those buildings. So I have like 4 buildings that that my buyers want to buy in. Okay. So he's calling every single unit in those buildings trying to get them to sell. Hey, I have a contract in hand ready to go for your unit. Do you want to sell? I'll go on the listing presentation with him, I'll help him out, and then I got my buyer in the door. So, I mean, there's things you can be doing. There's things you can be doing to help your buyers. One, it's different up here, but you can call streets.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, well, we do that, but you have another-
on KV Core, what's that thing?
And no one else has a buyer.
What's that circle prospect? Core Realty, that's it.
Core Realty, yeah.
You could pull up a whole neighborhood. So if you have buyers in that neighborhood, either you call or get someone that's not doing so much business to call for you. Have him call and you get 8% on the listing. We get 4%.
Right, find someone, if you don't like to call, find someone who will call, yeah.
But if you have buyers for an area, and especially right now, it's insane. I don't even have to say this, but it's insane. So call those neighborhoods. You have the buyers. I mean, can you cross out all the pertinent information, leave on the address? Can you do that?
Yeah, as long as there's nobody's personal information, that's fine to do that.
So you have a contract. You have a buyer that wants to move to that neighborhood. So then you're meeting people.
What would you do if I wrote you a check for $600?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the question.
Yeah. Would it be a problem if I can get your house closed in 30 days? People say no, and you just keep going. Keep going until they either hang up on you. So that's what I've been doing too. I've been having him call. And then I go on a listing presentation. I sat my first listing presentation with her, and I'm sorry, but it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah, he was mortified.
It was just the most boring. It's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
It's the standard listing presentation. And I mean, it's just not standard anymore. No one wants to hear that. People are on their phones. No one cares. You have to make it yourself. Listen, what do they want to hear? How much money they're getting in their pocket. They don't care that Weichert is #2 relocation in the world. Like, that's part of the presentation. Do they care? No.
Should I shut off the recording now?
You have to know this is gonna happen.
You know, the video.
I know you did, you told him to
No
stop.
one cares about that stuff. So I made my own presentation, a few short things. So I think something else that's important, and again, like I'm just going as I think. If we're going over, let me know, we'll stop. So it's important to make your own marketing. So you have to make videos. I used Chris Andreas, right?
From the Clifton office, he does an amazing job.
He came out and he made a video for me. And now every time I go on a listing presentation, I'll send that before. Like, this is what I do. I pay for this and I blast this on YouTube. And then the whole, what was it called again? Circle prospecting, right? Co-realty. I'll get everyone's email in the area, I'll blast to 4,000 people. I'll blast that video out. No one will answer me, but it's a good point to make. Like, listen, I'm sending this video to every single person in the neighborhood. I'll put it on the GSMLS.
Would it?
Do all.
Can you send us that video?
No.
Yeah.
something stuff like that.
I have it, yeah.
Introduce.
I'm saying to everyone but you. You're not getting the video.
She wants.
I'll have 10,000 views. I'll be getting paid off of it. Actually, I will send it to you.
You wanted it over and over.
No, I don't want to hear.
Send me some.
Send it to YouTube.
I'll send you my Venmo. That's what I'm sending. Or Zelle, whatever.
Yeah, because honestly, Tabitha better match, because as fresh as she is, as fresh as he is. So she better match in freshness. In freshness.
But yeah, so a video or just any type of marketing that you can show the seller. I went up against someone that they said that someone was in the industry for 20 years.
Yeah, so wait, start from the beginning of that, because I wanted to bring that up. So you met this person in the mailroom.
Okay, so
You have to start from the
this is
beginning.
another point that I wanted to make, but I didn't write anything down. So always bring up that you're in real estate somehow. Just drop it in. Again, you guys probably know this, but whatever. Just drop it in somewhere stupid. I was in the mailroom picking up a package, and I think I was in a flood zone. My old apartment was in a flood zone. So my garage was flooding. In the mailroom, a lady walks in, I'm talking to her, I'm like, she's like, yeah, did you see all the water? I'm like, yeah, I'm actually bringing some clients by later. I'm trying to sell a home in here. And I'm like embarrassed to bring them through. I just made that up. There's no home for sale in the place. and I had no clients. But what else was I gonna talk to her about? So she's like, oh really? I'm about to sell my home. So I got the listing. So again, that was a relocation.
A Weichert relocation.
So it was me versus an agent of like 20 plus years. And they picked me just because I went in there with not some BS presentation, make your own. And
I love it.
and just nailed it.
I love it.
You're gonna hear.
I
I don't go home.
know.
I don't live there.
Thanksgiving is gonna be interesting.
I've done worse.
Oh God, yes,
I've
yes.
done worse than that. So I'm not worried about that. But yeah, so I met her in the lobby, and I got the listing, and then I got a few buyers off that because Weichert relocation, you don't get paid off that. You get nothing. I spent more money marketing the home than I did pretty much making off that house. So, but again, it was good because now I take that video and I send it. So it's important to kind of build like a little marketing brand so you can go on these presentations and show something tangible. Anyone can go over there and speak, but it's what are you actually doing? What are you showing me? So.
What are you talking about?
So it was like a home video walkthrough, and Chris actually does a really good job because he incorporates you in it. So like you do an intro, you walk around, you speak a little
I
bit.
can send it to you. I can send it to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
property
it starts with him introducing the building, him and say, let me show you. And then Chris takes him through, like, I guess it's like a drone, because it's almost like,
And it does it all.
Well, what is? Don't mind me asking what it's called.
I don't remember.
I want to say 300.
3, 4. I think. 100. I mean, you should be doing.
Yes, you will.
Mhm.
Sorry. I'll send you it. Yeah. I introduced the place and then I walked him through the unit, and then I just blasted it out to every single person.
Did he make it so you could drop in other houses, like switch out the graphics?
No, because it was actually me. Like it wasn't like a front green screen. It was just me actually there. But I mean, the more you have, the better. So you just send a portfolio over to them. On top of that, you just got to tell them like you pay for the pictures. At least I did, right? Does everyone pay for pictures?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everybody pays for
Okay.
it.
Chris doesn't do pictures, this video.
I think he.
You don't pictures now?
I don't know actually.
In this video.
I use like front door or whatever, wherever they are.
Mhm.
But yeah. So just drop that in somehow. Let people know you're a realtor. If you have to lie about it, lie about
Where
it.
your name there?
I never wear mine. I should though.
Yeah, you should.
My broker wears it everywhere. He wears it like at the bar.
Mhm.
Yeah, I won't do that. But
Remember the old days when they used the agents would wear it upside down to start that conversation?
Mhm.
Oh, perfect. I do that all the time, just with-
Me too, I was gonna say, people would stop me and I didn't even realize, so. I didn't know that was a real thing. I have extra magnets, yeah. So any other questions? Anybody here have questions?
Dr. what you got? Anything?
I want to hear more about the drag brunch.
I'll show you videos. Did I dress up
I didn't say that.
No, definitely.
in drag? No. No, you just go. No, I'll show you videos. You just go and you bring your singles and you give it to them.
Yeah.
I'll show you videos. It was a lot.
Is the recording on?
It's not, it's
I'll
not.
teach you drag brunch etiquette another day.
No,
Well, I
that's next
was waiting for Dante's question, and that's why I didn't shut it off.
I was gonna ask, do you do that for every listing you get? Do you make that?
Before.
professional?
Before. Now I don't do it anymore now on the team.
Right,
But my partner does.
okay.
He'll do it for everything. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
You
thank
should make
thank you.
marketing for every video so you can send that portfolio
Right.
out to people and show that it's bigger than all that. So. You want on there?
Yeah, no, nobody has a question. That's why I was looking at their questions. All right, guys. I'm gonna put this
Yeah.
recording on YouTube and I'll send it out.
Find an accountability buddy and then just get it done.
I do have a question about the awards, the million, 5, 4 million, you know, for monthly versus year. Is that the GCI or total volume?
GCI, gross commission. Everything's done in gross commission here. So I'm gonna get off of this.